Good evening na po, ma'am. We are fourth year student po from Batangas State University, National Engineering University Lipa Campus po. Currently po, nagkakondak po kami ng thesis po na title po yung Perceptions of Information Officers on the Use of Artificial Intelligence, Basis for Communication Plan. First po muna, ipakilala po muna po. Ako po si Mark Angelo Pasco po.
And good evening po, ma'am. My name is Janine Mendoza po.
And I'm Lowen Chindi Agrabande po.
I'm Ira Micaela Picardente po.
So, ma'am, ano po? Ay naman po yung magpakailan po ng information agency po po or government office.
Hello, good evening. Pasensya na at ngayon lang tayo nagkaroon ng time talaga for this interview. So, ako si Chiverly Kagitla. So, Information Officer 2 dito sa Department of Agriculture, Region 4, Calabarzon. Little background. So, dito sa DA Calabarzon, I'll be celebrating my 10th year on December. I started here December 1, 2016 as dito sa information section din. But after 3 months, I was assigned sa Office of the Director to assist the Director. And then after 5 years, I think, nabalik ako dito sa information section as Information Officer 2. So, I'll be on my 5th year dito sa information section.
Yan po, ma'am. Thank you po. And ngayon naman po ay dadako po tayo sa mga questions po. And first po muna is a preliminary question po. And first po is, can you describe your role as an information officer and the kinds of communication tasks you handle daily?
Alright, so when I started, nung bumalik na ako dito sa, we call our section as Regional Agriculture and Fisheries Information Section. So under siya ng Administrative and Finance Division. So what we do, kami yung, our section, we are assigned or tasked sa public relations, sa communications ng office. So, as an information officer, we have, dito sa aming section, we have 3 units, 4. So, divided kami into yung development communications, and then we have yung mga for layout, photos and videos, separate din siya na unit. And then, we have yung social media and media relations namin. So under ako na TSEU, develop ng mga information materials, which includes yung content for LEC materials, yung mga brochures, booklets, tsaka magazine, success stories, writing success stories, included din siya. So basically, yung content ng LEC materials, doon ako part. Yun yung pinakontribute ko sa office, dito sa section namin. Aside from that, yung other roles ko, responsibilities, pag may mga activities or events, we also cover. Ang event coverage includes taking of photos, videos for post-production ng isa namin unit. So, kami lang yung sa raw taking of photos and videos, tapos yung write-up for the activities na na-cover namin. So, tapos, I also do yung sa hosting, MC, kapag kailangan sa mga programs, internally, and also pag may mga activities kami with the farmers, partner LGUs, private sector. So, natatap din ko as host or MC. Thank you. Yeah.
Next naman po is, what typical challenges do you face in managing information?
So, syempre, as a government employee, sa government generally, kailangan ng transparency. So, challenges is, syempre, hindi naman always possible yung mga information for dissemination. We encounter yung mga natural calamities, yung mga unforeseen events. So, basically, ang challenges is paano siya makipapahatid sa mga farmers and fisherfolk, which is yung priority ng clients. So, paano siya mapaparating sa kanila in a manner na maintindihan nila what is happening and how is the office dealing with such information or such challenge or such yung pinagdadaanan na current in this day.
Next naman po is, can you share a specific situation where communication was particularly difficult or successful?
So, parehas, no? For difficulty, siguro yung specific communication, kapag may mga outbreak ng animal diseases. So, medyo sensitive yung topic since kabuhayan ito ng farmers. We have to be careful sa choice of words or making it laymanized na mas maintindihan nila, especially kung technical yung terms, paano siya mas maintindihan. So, that's one difficulty that we face. What we do, we collaborate with the other department or section dito sa office. Kasi since specific siya, for example, for animals, meron tayong section or unit or division na nag-handle ng animal diseases. So, when giving information, we have to communicate internally dito sa amin para yung information na accurate and reliable and magagamit. For successful situation, I think kapag na-deliver sa farmers yung information na kailangan by having their feedback. So, pag may nakaka-receive kami ng feedback na okay, naintindihan nila or okay, so ganito yung situation, naintindihan namin, gagawin na. So, parang successful na siya kasi na-deliver or parating na what is needed or what is information.
Next naman po is, how do you usually handle urgent or sensitive information requests from the public?
Sa pagbibigay ng information kapag sensitive, basically kung hindi instruction sa amin na mag-release kami ng, for example, statement, we give it sa concerned office. Sila yung magbibigay sa amin ng what we are allowed, what we can share with the public without, for example, again, yung mga outbreak or mga sakit, so as not to give panic or to make the public worry of the situation. So, kailangan communicated ulit kami dun sa mga division na concerned dun sa information na nire-request. So, since, again, transparency is kailangan siya, yun talaga yung expected, what is expected from us. But then again, ano yung relevant na kailangan malaman ng public? Yun yung ibibigay namin. And if it's a problem, we make sure na merong katumbas na solution pag sinabi. It's not just the problem, but what we are doing na ano na yung mga hakbang para ma-address. For example, a problem.
Next naman po is main PII questions or key informative interview questions. Is about use of artificial intelligence in government offices or government law. And the first po is, how do you personally define artificial intelligence in the context of government communication?
For me, ang artificial intelligence, since very recent naman siya, very recent naman siya. Ano siya, it's a tool that you can use for proper communication, not to deliver or misinformation. So it's a very sensitive but useful tool when used properly. Tama yun. Understanding mo dun sa mabibigay na help niya sa'yo. But also, it can be a tool for negativity kung hindi mo siya alam.
Next naman po is follow-up question naman po tayo. Where did you first learn or discover about AI? Sa training po ba siya, sa social media, or sa personal experience?
Hindi sa training, definitely. Social media, parang yun siya. Sa uso siya. Parang social media. Sa personal experience, later on ko na siya na gamit. And not really, sobrang gamit na gamit.
Next naman po is, can you share a story about how you first encountered AI in your professional or personal life?
Actually, tinatanong ko nga sa mga kasama ko, paano hindi ko siya thoroughly naintindihan ano ba yung mga sakop ko. But basically, ang mas nagagamit ko lang is ChatGPT. Yun lang, parang yun lang yung nagamit ko lang talaga minsan.
Next naman po is, why do you think AI is relevant or not relevant to your work as an information officer?
Just like any other technology or mga science-based na mga lumalabas, we could always use a help or a help or two sa mga ganitong technology. So, it is relevant din since kailangan natin sumabay what is sumabay kung ano yung napapanahon, also to make use of the tools na lumalabas for our advantage. So as an information officer, somewhat helpful, pero since, ayun nga, as I mentioned, ChatGPT lang ang tayo very familiar, not very, but familiar ako. So as an information officer, especially pag may mga, I think matatanong naman pag may mga urgent, nagagamit ko siya.
Next naman po is, can you recall a moment that changed your perception of AI?
Di ba AI din yung mga yung mga images na nagbabago? Medyo naging alarming siya sa balita nung magkakaroon yun ng mga ways of imitating personalities. Parang yun yung naging parang ano sa akin. Pag nakakakita na ako sa social media, papatanong ko, totoo ba to? So, parang yung start is, this is a good tool, I can use this maybe sa delivery ng what is expected of me. Pero after a while, since mas naging deeper yung effect nito in a way na parang medyo it will play on your mind na kung totoo or hindi. So medyo parang okay, hard-hearted na ako, okay pa siya.
Next naman po is main question po naman tayo. In your office or agency, what functions or tasks currently involve AI?
Definitely, dun sa akin as an information officer, as I mentioned again, yung ChatGPT is the tool that I sometimes use. Pero yung I think mas involved siya dun sa post-processing ng mga photos and videos na ginagamit namin. Also yung images na used for IC materials.
Next naman po is sa follow-up question po tayo. Cite a specific duty or task in your office where AI was used. What happened?
Personally, sa akin, yan. So, there was one event na parang yung official na kasama ko was na asked or parang hindi naman siya informed needed to deliver a speech. Pero syempre, as an official, ready naman sila lagi to deliver a message sa mga clients. However, syempre, yung mga ibang information na kailangan facts or figures na kailangan accurate. So, sa paggamit ko ng ChatGPT, ito mag-input ko sa kanya ng keywords or what specific kailangan ma-include. So, nagamit ko naman siya. But then, syempre, yung figures and facts, I needed to ask pa dun sa iba namin kasama. Assign kung halimbawa at program yung involved. For example, rice farmers yung nakarap na. So, dapat information about the rice situation or any information about rice production. So, I still include that. Doon sa rice program, although nagamit ko sa ChatGPT for yung creating the message, pero yung inclusion ng mga facts and figures from the office state. So, okay naman siya. Na-deliver naman siya during that.
Next naman po is, how often do you find yourself using AI tools and in what kinds of situations?
Not as often. Seldom, actually. Sa akin, personally. Very seldom ko siyang magagamit. As I mentioned again, ChatGPT. Ayun na, yung sample is kapag kailangan ng urgent na, for example, mag-draft ng message to be delivered by our official sa job. Kasi hindi ako masaya sa editing ng photos or videos. Images. So, yun lang, basically. Mas nagagamit. Hindi din siya that often very seldom. Tapos, yun, always reviewing pa rin.
Next naman po is, what differences have you noticed between tasks done with AI and those done without?
Aside from it being mabilis, get about kung paano ka mag-start para may mapapagsimulan. Instead of you constructing yung pagsisimula. Kasi ang challenging kasi sa pagsusulat is how are you going to start. So, with AI, ChatGPT, kahit pa paano, sa-start ka sa unang mo, okay, eto maganda to, start or parang dito, mas dito. So, it will give you an idea. Kung wala ka agad-agad, maisip at the moment, that's kailangan mo na. So, yun. Okay siya. But, yun nga, yung emotion, wala siya. Kumbaga, yun yung i-consider kapag ganun sa how I work, connecting sa farmers, social workers, sa
Next naman po is, what was the outcome of using AI in that situation?
Okay naman. Diba? Simple ako. Yung situation na yun was useful during that moment. We're talking about yung example ng message at message or drafting ng message. It was useful, but then again, hindi ko siya binibigay as it is. Ano yung gusto binibigay. Still, we have to review, double check if it's suitable to the audience. Pagde-deliver.
Next naman po is a main question for Dr. Tayo. How has AI affected your role as an information officer?
Okay. So, since hindi naman ako ganun ka-exposed or hindi ko siya as always, as often nagagamit, it affected in a good way, positive, as an information officer. We are talking about yung mga written and content siya. So, it made it faster and easier to construct kung ano yung naiisip ko right away.
Next naman po is a follow-up question po tayo. Can you describe a scenario where AI supported your work effectively?
Okay, so sige. Dahil kanina ko pa ginagamit yung pag-message during that specific event right away. Siguro dito na lang sa ano. Paggawa naman ng success story. For example, medyo yung pag may interviewing ka, farmer na medyo sometimes limited yung words or konti lang na ipapakinig. So, dun mo siya i-play. And if it's a success story, kailangan mas mararamdaman. So, dun sa story. However, kung limited na words na nabigay ni Park, so kailangan pa, kumbaga, expound siya. So, yung AI can affect during those moments that dapat keyword ka lang, lalagay ka lang ng keyword, it can be expounded. Doon mo na lang siya lalagay. Ikot-ikot, kung paano mo siya isi-swap based doon sa totoo na kwento.
Next naman po is, how do you feel when AI takes over tasks that were traditionally handled by people?
I would say hindi naman siya taking over lahat as in total. Kumbaga, assist lang siya. Assist kasi, as I've said, wala siyang emotion. Hindi mo ma-delete feelings or yung, for example, a success story as compared sa nakausap mo sa farmer. Kumbaga, yung makibigay ng chat could be words lang, but the emotion should come from you. Kasi ikaw yung nakarelate sa story. So, I don't think it's really taking over, but assisting, kumbaga, leveling up lang yung traditional tasks.
Next naman po is, how do you see AI supporting your role as information officer and in what specific situation has it been most helpful?
Basically, mas mabilis. Kumbaga, it will help me. Yun na. Kumbaga, drafting something na kailangan urgent. Kasi syempre, for example, covering an activity or if siya, parang it's like news, though hindi siya mainstream. So, it's still a news that we have to share to our clients, farmers, fishers of LG news na kailangan fresh pa. So, patulong siya to draft in a faster way para ma-i-add mo agad.
Next naman po is, how do you feel about the implication of AI for job security po?
do you feel about AI, for example? It's a plus, but we are talking about like job, securing a job. Tama?
Yes po.
If you are familiar, it will siya credentials mo din. If you are familiar with it properly, it can help.
Nagpuputol-putol lang po siya.
Ay, wala na.
I am charging.
Ayan, sige po.
Okay na.
Papa,
Saan ako nagka?
yung it can help.
Yun siya. So, yun. For securing a job or maintaining job, AI can be a good tool. Depende sa paggamit.
Next naman po sa main question 5 na po tayo. What specific challenges have you encountered when using AI in government communication and how did you deal with them po?
Sa ChatGPT, you always have to read it ulit-ulit. Especially kapag sensitive topic. Kasi hindi, yun nga, yung kapag nag-input ka lang na word, ibibigay niya lang sa'yo lahat. But yung facts and figures, kailangan mo pa din i-timing or i-check saan siya papasok dun sa paragraph or sa sentence na pinag-struct ng AI or ChatGPT. Saan mo siya ipapasok? Baka hindi siya tugma dun sa na-construct na sa. So, have to be careful na hindi siya magmukhang basta na lang siya sa'yo. So, yun. So, you really have to double check.
Next naman po is follow-up question naman po tayo. Can you recall a time when AI-generated information raised doubts about accuracy or reliability po?
Since pinapractice pa din nga yung pagdo-double check, hindi naman siya, kung before using it, may doubt ka na eh. From the very beginning. Hindi ka 100% relying dun sa AI or sa ChatGPT. There's always a doubt. So, what you do is, yung doubt mo na yun, ika-counter check mo sometimes.
Next naman po is, what ethical dilemmas have you thought about or experienced when using AI in communication po?
Yung choice of words. Kailangan, since babasahin mo nga siya, ano yung binibigay ng ChatGPT o AI, kailangan mo siyang ulit-ulitin basahin kung okay ba siya pakinggan or meron bang mga words na kailangan i-omit at palitan ng better wordings para mas ma-deliver mo at mas maipatid kailangan na information ng mga farmers. Hindi yung as is, kung ano yung binigay. Sometimes, may mga words doon na either difficult to understand or offensive. So, you have to omit that and change it to better create na mas maiintindihan ng clients.
Next naman po is, why do confidentiality and data protection matter in your role and how might AI affect them?
Sa confidentiality, since transparency nga tayo dito sa government, and data, yung mga data protection, yes, o meron tayong data privacy. So, we always follow what are the instructions from the officials, ano yung ibibigay na information. So, we're not relying on AI. Kasi kailangan safe yung like accurate in what is needed.
Next naman po is, what challenges do you foresee in adapting to new rules or responsibilities brought about by AI?
Magiging challenge kung doon na lang magre-rely. Everything will be asa dun sa siya magiging personalized, kumbaga. medyo kung as is mo siya ibibigay sa mga clients, especially sa farmers and fisher ko, hindi siya magiging appealing to them. Kasi parang, no emotion yung feelings.
Yeah, next naman po is sa main question 6 na po tayo. In your view, how can AI improve the effectiveness of communication in government offices po?
Una, yung timeliness. So, you can deliver faster kasi mabilis siyang nakakapagbigay sa kung ano yung input mo for it to give you an idea. So, mabilis siya. So, that's effective na siya. Kung yung timeliness ng pag-deliver mo, whatever is needed, maganda siyang tool. Especially kapag may mga urgent concerns or urgent information or ibigay, ipaalam sa public. Yun. I think basically yun yung matutulog na lang. Ang mabilis. But again, you always have to review. Fact check.
Next naman po is, sa follow-up question naman po tayo. Can you describe a situation where AI helped you communicate information more quickly to the public or within your agency po?
Ayun. So yun, as I mentioned kanina, yung example, in delivering a message. Kasi kapag ka nasa situation ka na, andun ka na sa event, marami ka ng set, marami ka ng check, tapos biglang kailangan makapag-draft ka agad. A speech or a message, yun, AI can help sa pag-deliver, sa pag-message.
Yung next naman po is, can you describe a situation where a citizen or a group of citizens shared their thoughts about AI being used in government communication? What was their reaction and how did you respond po?
Kung sa mga farmers, wala actually. Kasi, hindi kasi laging layman's term naman yung ginagamit namin, Tagalog, tapos parang, siya kailangan na masyadong plakado, kumbaga, messenger. So, wala siya masyadong, wala akong na-encounter ata. Group of farmers or fishers na napag-usapan namin is AI.
Next naman po is, ito naman po. Why do you think some citizens may feel confident about using AI tools in government communication po?
Yung quick reaction na, quick response from AI tools. Feeling ko yun siya. Parang, okay, mabilis na dito na ako.
Next naman po is, why do you think some citizens may feel hesitant about using AI tools in government communication po?
Yung accuracy and yung lack of emotion, personal touch. Feeling ko yun yung medyo hindrance din on using AI tools.
Next naman po is, in what ways do you think AI complicates communication with citizen po?
Kapag yung mga words are too difficult to understand, masyadong technical, malalim, we always have to laymanize it para mas madali siyang i-deliver sa people. So, magiging complicated pa sa kapag sobrang dami naman ng words, hindi mo naman mapili kung alin.
Next naman po is main question 7 na po tayo. How do you assess the accuracy and reliability of AI-generated information po?
How do you assess the accuracy and reliability? As I've said, hindi ka laging magre-rely sa kanya. Again, it's still computer. So, kailangan pa din ng human touch. So, you don't 100% rely on AI. So, definitely, katulad mo kanina, may doubt ka lagi. So, hindi ka magre-rely.
And sa follow-up question naman po tayo, ma'am. Can you describe a situation where you trusted or distrusted AI-generated information? What made you feel that way po?
Trusted or distrusted. As an information officer, wala naman akong specific situation. Siguro lang sa mga social media checks, mapapaisip ka lang sa mga images na makikita mo, kung dito ba, talaga bang dito sa Philippines, kasi sometimes, dahil AI siya, hindi na siya mukhang pang Pilipino, hindi na siya mukhang pang saan. So, hindi siya pang pang. So, yun, paminsan, ka lang mapapaisip. Sana hindi ko gamit.
Ano po, ma'am? Magpuputol ko na lang din po kayo. Next naman po is, what safeguards do you think are most important to ensure responsible use of AI in government communication po?
Mas okay kung maraming layers yung pagdadaanan bago ma-release. For example, a statement. So, hindi lang siya dadaan sa isang like, to make sure, to be sure na okay yung information na ilang
Ma'am, nagpuputol-putol lang po kayo.
Ay! Ulitin ko dun sa what safeguards.
Apo.
Okay. Ika lang po. Mag-water lang ako.
Sige lang po, ma'am.
Okay. Hello?
Yes po, ma'am.
Okay, so doon sa safeguard, so ay dapat lagi siyang may layer of checking. Hindi siya yung, for example ako, kung ano yung ginawa ko, yun na yung i-release. Meron pa kami unit head na mag-check, and then the unit head, pag hindi pa din siya satisfied or convinced or hindi din siya sa judgment niya, he can always ask sa higher official. So, dapat meron siyang layers. Hindi siya first, lang. Kapag ito na yun, aking binigay, ito na siya.
And next naman po is, why would certain conditions make you more open to using AI in your work po as information officer?
Why would certain conditions make you more open to using AI in your work? Babalik ulit tayo dun sa, mabilis. Always naman yun. Diba, syempre tayo mga Pinoy lagi. Gusto natin instant. So, dahil mabilis nga yung binibigay niya sa'yo, mas mapapadali yung work mo, mas ma-assist ka. But again, you always have to double check. And, fact check yung laman. Yung mga binibigay.
And next naman po is, what guidelines should be established to ensure responsible use po?
Yun, dapat merong mag-check. Hindi siya pwedeng one layer, okay na, ito na yung ibibigay natin. Dapat included in the guideline is, kailangan check siya ng several people, counter-check siya before it can be used as an information material.
And next naman po is sa main question 8 na po tayo. Under what conditions would you consider AI use in government offices acceptable and beneficial?
If it's, naiintindihan ng clients. Naiintindihan nila, it's for as long as naiintindihan nila and you do your part or ako, I'll do my part in double checking and making sure na tama, yun, okay siya.
And next naman po sa follow-up questions naman po tayo. What changes do you expect in communication practices if AI is fully integrated?
Yung delivery, timeliness. Kasi paminsan, yun nga, kung as an information officer, minsan nabablanko ka din eh. Laging makakaisip agad ng hindi ka palaging makakaisip agad. So, in moments na medyo struggle ka to start a piece, a story, or a material, yun, kapag ma-fully integrated or ma-practice si AI, feeling ko yung timeliness lang, mas mapapabilis.
Next naman po, ma'am, is how do you envision your role as information officer evolving in the next 5 to 10 years with AI?
Mas siguro it will help in delivering faster and mas madami. For example, I'm expected to create a story or an article siguro 10 sa isang 1 or 2 months. Pwede siyang madagdagan dahil nga medyo mas mapapadali or mas mabilis using the AI.
Next naman po is, why do you think AI will reshape local government services and in what ways po?
Again, yung timeliness. Parang feeling ko yun yung isa sa matutulong mabilis.
And next naman po is sa main question 9 na po tayo. How do you think the use of AI can improve transparency in government communication po?
Improving kasi ito eh. As I mentioned, hindi ka nga dapat, hindi ka totally reliant sa AI. So, when it comes to transparency, magpa-fact check ka pa din. Magdo-double check, magko-cross-checking ka pa din sa mga kasama mo sa ibang department. Mas mapapabilis nga lang siya. Pero yung transparency will still depend on dun sa inyong agency, sa communication mo sa person to person, people to people, mga kasama mo pa din sa office.
And next naman po is na po tayo, follow-up question po. Can you share an example po of what transparency would look like in practice when using AI tools po?
Transparency in a way, again, timeliness kapag kailangan ng agad-agad na information, cannot construct and seem to start kung ano yung kailangan. Yung sa transparency, siguro yung finding the right words lang na mas maiintindihan ng farmers, it will help when AI is used or practiced well. So, siguro, sa kaka-input kay AI, baka ma-develop siya and diba minsan pag mga keywords, natatandaan siya. So, siguro, eventually, kapag more mas nagagamit yung mga words na kailangan sa department, yun na din yung eventually.
And next naman po is, how should government officers communicate the use of AI to gain public trust po?
Etong what reminders do you think should be emphasized to guide yung okay na ba yun?
Parang katulad lang din naman po yung nasagot mo.
Yung kanina yung sa kailangan may layers. So dun sa how should government officers communicate the use of AI to gain public trust? Nagkakaroon tayo dito kami sa information, meron kaming mga training workshop wherein we ask or invite yung mga experts to share yung kanilang knowledge about using AI. Like, for example, last year we had yung sa social media management, yung aming speaker, natakel niya yung paggamit ng AI. So always naman, reminder is to double check. Yes, mabibigay ni AI kung ano kailangan mo agad-agad. Words na minsan hirap kang isipin or hanapin. But again, yung personalized touch para sa inyong clients, that's the most important. So public trust should be earned dun sa pagsasalita mo, not all the words na binibigay.
Next naman po is, what kind of materials would help people better understand AI use po?
What kind of material? Siguro since yung aming mga clients ay farmers, fisher folk, tapos nagagawa kami ng mga IEC materials, pwede siguro kami maggawa ng brochure or booklet or kahit anong printed na pwede namin i-disseminate, a reminder or warning kapag may mga information online misleading or misinformation, pwede kaming gumawa ng mga reminder sa public na i-apply. So as to prevent them from trusting fully yung mga nakikita sa social.
Yung next naman po is, how do you think AI-related communication can be made clearer to the public po?
Yun nga. So, kung kayang makapag-produce ng mga printed materials, pwede siyang gawin in layman's term, Tagalog pa nga gamit para mas maintindihan farmers, fisher folk, especially yung mga nasa sulok-sulok ng probinsya. So, pwede namin siyang isama sa mga reading materials kasi nagkakaroon din kami ng mga activities katulad ng puntahan sa kanayunan wherein pumupunta kami sa mga mas liblib or mas malalayong probinsya ng region. Pwede kami magdala ng mga reading materials na pwede nilang maiuwi sa bahay, mapag-aralan or mabasa to remind them na hindi lahat ng makikita online or maririnig or yun na, sa social media ay kailangan papaniwalaan.
And last na naman po is, how can we improve the use of AI in government offices po?
How can we improve? Siguro more training sa mga employees on the use of AI, ano yung mga repercussions, ano yung okay at hindi okay gamitin, ano yung mga kailangan i-look out sa paggamit nito na baka magamit ng employee not knowing na siya okay or mas magbibigay ko instead positive. So siguro more trainings, capability training sa mga gumagamit dito sa office. Yeah.
Yun lang naman po, ma'am. Thank you so much po. Sagot po sa mga question po, kahit mahaba po. Thank you so much po. Po, ma'am. Baka po, nasa office po kayo bukas po. May papapirmahan lang po kami na parang consent po for participant po. And
Okay.
yun, din po kami ng token po para sa inyo po. For the authorization lang po. Yun. Thank you po.
Okay, sige. Kung may mga follow-up pa or additional questions, pwede naman ito, ma'am. Nandito naman.
Ma'am, ask ko lang din po. If nandyan po kay Sir JV po bukas.
Naku, nami-message niyo ba siya? Okay, na lang kasi every now and then iba yung mga schedule pa instructions.
Sige po, ma'am. Thank you so much po.
Pakita nyo na lang. Maraming salamat. Again, kung may
Thank you
questions pakimessage na lang. Hoping na mapakinabangan yung naging usapan. Good luck sa inyo.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Thank you po, ma'am. Thank you po.
Thank you.